Tidio is such a fun song. Did you check out the video where I taught my students how to play the game? It's so much fun, and you can teach tika tika, a repeat sign, and I'm going to show you a really great Orff instrumentation that you can play with your students today at all levels. Today, let's go ahead and get started with rhythm.
Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo.
How many beats is this part? Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo. Of course, that's 8 beats. And if your class doesn't figure out that it's 8 beats right away, you can always try that again. It's 8 beats. And I like to use these hearts as beats so that people can put the rhythm onto the beats and we can keep track of what beats we haven't worked on yet. Clap the rhythm with me. Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo. How many sounds in each beat? Tidy. Yeah, that's 2 sounds. Oh, 1 sound. Tidy, 2. Oh, 1 sound. Jingle at the. Yeah, that's 4 sounds, and it's one of our brand new rhythms. So this is a practice lesson for tika tika. And right away, if you're using this as a practice lesson, of course they know what a tika tika is. This is our brand new tika tika. Window, how many sounds? Of course, it's 2. Tidy, 2. Oh, 1 sound. Let's put those rhythms up there. So we have tidy, it's a TT. Oh, we have a ta, tidy. That's another TT. Oh, ta. Jingle at the, yes, that's our brand new tika tika. Window, that's a TT. Tidy, that's a TT. Oh, right there. Let's read the rhythm. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, tika-tika, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. But what about the actual song? Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo. Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo. What do we need to draw to show that it happens a second time? Yes, a repeat sign. So I'm going to draw 2 lines and 2 dots, and as long as we're here, we may as well draw the rest of the bar lines. This is in 2 meter, so every 2 beats, we draw another bar line, 1, 2, bar line. And in 2 meter, I draw a 2 and a heart. I don't usually get to 2-4 until we get into 4th grade, maybe late 3rd grade during 4 meter. And this is before all of that. So I still use the heart to show 2 meter. Let's do it twice. Here we go. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, tika-tika, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, tika-tika, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. And since this is a practice lesson for tika tika, I want to change one of these into another tika tika. So I will go ahead and just put it right here, and let's go ahead and read it. Ready, go. Ti-ti-ta, tika-tika-ta, tika-tika, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. Repeat. Ti-ti-ta, tika-tika-ta, tika-tika, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. And you can have 2 students come on up and change, or maybe just 1. Have them come up and change any of the beats, change these around so we're able to practice a different rhythm. Let's go ahead and read this one. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, tika, tika, ti, ti, tika, tika, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, tika, tika, ti, ti, tika, tika, ta, ti, ti. This is a great way of teaching composition in a simple way. So if someone is coming up and moving them around, they are composing, a very limited way of composing, but then they don't have to worry about melody, they don't have to worry about lyrics, but they're composing in an 8-beat segment. And then since it's a practice for tika tika, the students get to read tika tika over and over. It's a great way to teach tika tika. And now, melody.
Pass 1 window, Tideo. Pass 2 windows, Tideo.
The melody of this song is perfect to teach high do. Mi, so, do, mi, so, do, mi, so, do. But today I want to show you an Orff instrumentation for the song. So I have a bass xylophone and a soprano metallophone. And the bass xylophone represents the bourdon that you can play. Now, Jeff and Randy, in one of their books, has this as the bourdon. a simple crossover bordune with a rest. And it goes, past one window, Tideo, past two windows, Tideo, past three windows, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo, 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 jingle out the window, Tideo, 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 jingle out the window, Tideo. But I have found that when you have that rest, a lot of students are unable to do the rest. But that's one level of difficulty. If that becomes an issue for your class, you can add the extra so. As you're playing, do, so, do, so, do, so, do, so. Past one window, Tideo. Past two windows, Tideo. Past three windows, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. I would play that way. Now at the very end, you need to round it out and end on the do. Jingle out the window, Tideo. It's really great to end on that bottom do. Another way is to double the speed. This may seem harder, but in actuality with the kids, this is not that much more difficult. Anyone with a difficulty playing this is probably going to have the same difficulty playing this. So you may as well try it. It's at least one step harder and more challenging for those kids who can play instruments really well. And it goes, past one window, Tideo, past two windows, Tideo, past three windows, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo, 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 jingle out the window, Tideo, 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 jingle out the window, Tideo. And when you do it that way, it ends very satisfyingly on the high do. It's great. That's the bordune. There are also special words in the song, which are Tideo. So the students clap every time there's a Tideo, and you can ask them, how many Tideos are there? Past one window, Tideo, that's one. Past two windows, Tideo. Past three windows, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. So far we have 4 Tideos. Tideo, Tideo, that's 6. Jingle out the window, Tideo, 7. Tideo, Tideo, jingle out the window, Tideo. So there are 10 Tideos. Some students have a hard time making sure to go all the way and play the Tideo, Tideo, but that happens with practice. On any instrument, especially the sopranos and the altos, and metallophones are perfect for these special words. You play anything on those special words. Past one window, Tideo. Past two windows, Tideo. Past three windows, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Tideo, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Tideo, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Putting them together is a whole lot of fun. But before we get there, I want to talk about the range of the song. You may notice that I'm not playing it in the key of C. A lot of Orff songs are pitched in the key of C so that you don't have to deal with accidental bars on your instruments. But if everything is pitched in C, that is really low. Now, Tideo is a song that at least goes up to high do. But if you are playing everything in the key of C, that doesn't stretch the range of your students. I happen to have all of my F sharp and B flat bars for my instruments. You may not. If you don't, or if you don't have the time between classes that are really close to switch out the bars between grade levels or something, you may just pitch this song in the key of C. But I would suggest that you consider pitching some songs in the key of D or in the key of F so that you get the kids singing a little bit higher. So I happen to have F sharp bars on my instrument here, and I'm not doing it in the key of C. Let's put the two instrument parts together. Past one window, Tideo. Past two windows, Tideo. Past three windows, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Tideo, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Tideo, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo. Well, that was fun. Thank you for playing with me. Yeah, that was fun. Well, that was fun working through the song Tideo with you today. We worked on tika tika for the rhythm, and we worked on a cool Orff instrumentation that you can use with your students this week. I'll see you next time right here in the music room. Bye-bye.
Pass one window, Tideo. Pass two windows, Tideo. Pass three windows, Tideo. Jingle out the window, Tideo.